Choosing to leave your marriage and share custody of your children, split everything up that you have, is incredibly difficult. For most women, especially Christian women, the decision to divorce comes after years, maybe even decades, of trying to make it work and suffering through very destructive situations. When a woman is finally strong enough to make that decision to leave, the support of friends is invaluable. Sadly, too many Christian women often get the opposite. Her friends may say things like, but God hates divorce, somehow implying that the decision that you made is sinful, or that God even hates you for making it. Or, if you do this, you can never remarry. That would be adultery. When such words come from trusted friends, it can throw a lot of doubt into an already difficult time. It's easy to start wondering, am I not trusting God enough to fix my marriage? Am I going to ruin my kids by leaving? And you might decide just to stay, even while knowing deep down it isn't safe, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually. In the Old Testament, Job had some friends like this. They saw in his horrific suffering and in their simplistic understanding of God, and they decided that all these horrible things were happening to him because he must have done something wrong. Imagine losing everything you have, including all your children and your health, and then having your best friends come into your grief and say, it must be your fault. But that was their simplistic understanding of God. When something bad happens, it must be because you've done something wrong. And this simplistic view still carries into the church all too often today. People can pull a verse like, God hates divorce, and take that to mean that he hates all divorce in every situation, that he somehow values your marriage more than he values you, regardless of what's happened inside your house. That God can only be glorified if you stay, no matter what. Friend, if you're being bombarded with criticism for leaving a destructive marriage, I'm so sorry. That is not God's heart. However, do you have the emotional energy right now to try to change your mind? Is anything you tell them really going to make any difference? My experience says it probably won't. As always, the only thing you have control over is you. And if their criticism or disapproval is really getting under your skin, here's what you can do to get stronger. Stop listening. And internally, take a look at your need for their approval. Because if you need everyone in your life to support your decision to divorce, you're going to be in trouble. Because even Jesus, who was perfect, had his critics. Start to ask yourself, what do I need in order to take care of me right now? And it might be you need to stop sharing so freely with those who disapprove. It might be to develop a one-liner like, thanks for your concern, but I've prayed long and hard about this decision and I'm comfortable with it. End of discussion. I would also suggest finding a support group of Christian women who are or have been right where you're at right now, who can encourage you through this time of your life. That's one of the reasons we created our online support group called Conquer. I'm not saying that you should end any friendships with people who don't agree with your decision. It just may mean that you need to set a boundary for yourself, that you're not going to discuss your decision to divorce with them. Or you're not going to spend as much time with them right now, whatever you need to feel safe. It's important, though, that you are open to wise counsel, but that doesn't mean you have to be open to everyone's counsel. As it says in Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart. God bless.